I remember when you dropped your video, he was like, "Hey, we gotta get our shit together."
No,
so he gonna see this drop too.
I'm
he gonna
pushing.
Be like, hey, you're helping him.
I'm fucking pushing y'all. I don't want to be a nuisance.
Listen, no. I'm fully behind you. I'm behind you. I hope he sees it that way, like it's I need to get my shit together.
Because I was just thinking, like, after I posted yesterday, I was in the group chat. That's when I was thinking, like, get Terry in the group chat.
Right.
Because I was going to say, I think I did, actually. Where the fuck is the pod? Like, come on. What are y'all doing?
With me. One was texting, one was on IG. He didn't see it, though.
He needs to see it.
Someone did message me. And they was like, yo, I missed the pods and the content.
Come on, bro.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. I gotta get it together.
Or you just do it, bro.
See, I don't. That's my thing, though. You already know how I felt about it, right? It's off record.
This is not off record. This is on record. And it is my IP. So I will be posting it. This is not off record.
It's like the pod is already like, now I gotta be political and watch my words. But the pod is already like leading towards, we're trying to figure out like where we want to go with it because we had like two visions at once.
Uh-huh.
So I'm already trying to figure out if this is what I want, like, or this is what I love. So right now, I'm trying to stay on marketing, make them stay on editing, and let it work out. I don't want to end up where one of us is doing everything, and then we go right back to I'm not happy here.
I feel that, but I feel like if one is slacking on the other, eventually the whole thing is going to drift apart because neither one of y'all are doing anything. Because if you're doing the marketing, but you don't have anything to market,
right.
Now you're not even thinking about the pod because you're like, well, it's up to Terry to deliver so that I can deliver. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
I've been pretty free flow with it, which I do admit isn't good. It's like not a good attitude to have, but just because I've been putting my focus into everything else.
Because the other day, I asked at the lunch table, I'm like, where the pod? He was like, I'm busy. Yeah. I'm gonna be busy or whatever. But like you're looking at cars, so you're not really busy. Like
I feel it.
You're not really busy.
What I told the person that said, like, where's the content? I was like, just life's been happening. Just because, he got his shit going on. I've been trying to bring up the other shit I'm trying to start that I'm not so like, hey, we're just sitting here twiddling our thumbs, like, let's do something. I know we're both dealing with something that's still in a forward, forward motion of he's trying to grow his videography thing. So if he's doing other jobs, then I'm not stressing him not doing the pod because one's making money and one isn't. So that's why I prioritize it.
I completely understand that. But I feel like once you commit to sitting down and recording like y'all did, because again, I'm waiting on the episode to come.
Right.
Once you commit to recording, then follow through with posting.
Right.
The downtime after that can be whatever, but when y'all decide, okay, we're going to sit down and record again, then go through.
Once it records, the clock starts.
Yeah, record and post because
it's time sensitive.
Yeah, the things y'all talking about may not be relevant in 2-3 weeks. Why'd y'all even sit down and talk? Now y'all are wasting y'all time versus the time that y'all saying that y'all don't have. Now you're wasting actual time.
Realistically, I feel like we're leaning towards just dropping it. But
dropping the episode?
I don't know. We might scrap it because it's being so long. We haven't even started. Like, I still got my footage. He has his. It's not even on the same computer yet. So that...
See, y'all haven't even went to the process of
what I'm saying?
Downloading files.
It's not like it's in there and it just hasn't been touched. It's not even... It's still on my phone. And then that and... Like you said, it's time sensitive. So what we talked about towards the end is all kind of irrelevant. So he might have to go in and cut that. And then at that point, it's like at the will of... Is he willing to go and make all those cuts and re-listen and be like, oh yeah, that can take out, that's not relevant anymore. He might just be like, oh, just scrap this shit. Which is bad habit, but that's what we've done in the past. It's like, if it goes too long, and you're like, eventually he's like, just scrap it. And we do another episode. But for the sake that we have a guest on that pod, that's why I want to like we need to we can't keep doing this.
Yeah, because
people gotta come back. They're like, oh, look, when are we gonna do another one? Oh, I really wanted that to post, so when I come back,
or I actually liked it, or they even stepped out of their comfort zone. Like you had me.
It took me a lot to get there, and then now you're not even posting it right.
Yeah, it was a waste of time. Mm-hmm. So at this point, I'm Downbad's biggest fan, bro. Like I'm on y'all neck every day.
You pushing like
I'm on y'all neck every day, bro.
You a VP for sure. For sure.
Come on, bro. I need that for real. I've been waiting to fucking hear that shit for real. But welcome back to the pod, man. Welcome back. How's this little hiatus from iThink been?
You want to roll?
You feel what I'm saying? I feel you. I mean, you feel me.
You know, I'm saying from seeing how this started,
to
see where it's at.
Yeah,
the progression is. I gotta say,
come on, come on.
Going from which to this day, I just said it to her this morning. The iThink, amazing.
Which wasn't your idea.
Kamaya told me when I left the house, she was like, she said, I gotta do something, and then I gotta think. I think it's a podcast, and I was like, well, what is it then? She's like, no, I think it's a podcast. I said,
it had you thinking like,
I said, wait,
what? I fuck with that. I fuck with psychological.
It flows. Everyone says that. When you don't know the name of a podcast, you'd be like, I think it's, you know what I'm saying? You're already saying it.
Like, oh, you saw that video when such and such. Oh, where is it? What is that? I mean, I think it's a podcast.
Oh my God. Like, you just gotta come on. It's already coming out of people's mouths. You just have to like bridge the gap.
Basically. Oh my God.
Which TikTok is gonna be it, because I even looked at your like the numbers just to see, like, you have the traffic.
Come on, bro. I'm pushing hard.
Like I said, in turnover time, come on, you just released the one yesterday. We already, you know what I'm saying?
I'm already on it.
Back in this.
Because I already know that this is gonna take maybe a week or two to edit, depending on how long this is. I posted, got people already in tune or whatever.
Right.
Let that run, do the promo for maybe a week or two, and behind the scenes, I'm editing. You feel me?
Just get ahead of it.
Yeah, when the time dies down from this episode that's posted, then I spark that energy back up with the next episode.
Turnover time is everything. There's guys posting like lengthy videos every day. Like they cut everything.
I don't know how the fuck they do it, bro.
It's really hard.
I don't know how they do it, because yesterday, I actually thought about what Terry said, like, because I'm thinking y'all editing a whole hour or so video,
right.
And he was like, no, we're just gonna make clips, and I was like, wait, you don't have time to make clips, bro? Guess what I did? I'm giving away IP, but I did the simplest shit ever. After I posted it, on my phone, I just screen recorded the post. Went into CapCut, pressed auto caption, tweaked all the wrong captions, and that was it, bro. What don't you have time for? I was doing that while watching fucking Bad Girls of South Central or whatever the fuck Janiyah was watching yesterday.
And see, when it comes to someone else, and this is kind of why I've realized over time that like I just like working alone.
Yeah.
Like having something with someone is cool. I'm not against it, but say like how you do things versus how, say, your partner, if you had a partner in this, did things, then your time becomes their time, and they move at a different pace. So now there's like someone's bound to at some point feel like they're being pushed or whatever. So in like, say that instance, I know what I can do, I know what I'm capable of, but you say you want to take the job to do it. So if it takes you this amount of time, I feel like my instinct is to fall back. You say you're gonna take care of it, let him take care of his pace. Because if I push and be like, "Yo, where's that?" Like, come on, man. Like I would have been done by now. Then that sounds like a threat. Now there's tension because again, that's my partner at the end of the day. I gotta watch what I say, how I say it. So I feel like that's kind of plays a part. Because I see what you're saying. Auto caption,
bro.
It's one camera to one camera. You know what I'm saying? On paper, it's 2 seconds.
for the most part, I was spending more time promoting it than making it.
Right.
I made it in 3 minutes, and I'm spending hours pushing it on TikTok, pushing it on Instagram, messaging people, DMing people, oh, appreciate the repost, blah, blah, blah. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I'm doing more of that than actually editing the video.
Like, really putting it together is the hardest part. Everything else is really like a repost, clip, snip, repost, caption, copy, paste on all social media. It's like that part. Yeah, like you said, it's the lengthiest part because I guess you got to tweak some things for like tagging people and shit.
Yeah.
But besides that, the hardest part is just put that footage with that footage together and shit.
Okay, do you, I mean, I had a topic for this episode, but we are down there 10 minutes in and we already done. We talking about some compelling ass shit to me anyway. So, the question is like, scrap the topic that we were about to talk about. Scrap that shit.
Okay.
Scrap that shit.
Okay.
I want to ask you, like, because I know you were saying, oh, we have our other ventures that we plan on pushing forward. So you like kind of taking a step back from the podcast.
Right.
Not consciously, but that's just what's happening. So like, don't you feel like these side ventures could be something to talk about on the pod? Because if you think about it, if you start a venture, right, you're technically branding, you're technically down bad because you're at the bottom. Now you have things to talk about, like when you grow, when you run into obstacles, comparing your situations to his situations. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Get lessons. Like I feel like y'all should go towards that when it comes to Downbad Radio versus talking about relevant topics in the media and talking about what Drake did, and you feel what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
I don't really.
Now, I'm gonna tell you, you're on board with me, because like I said, we had two different visions. When we had our meeting, I wanted more like, let's talk people through our lives day to day and how it relates to them. So, like we're all going through life together. Like,
yeah, bro, that's so interesting. That's so
right,
interesting.
Relatability is like undefeated.
Yeah.
You can't lose with that. Versus, I think Terry wanted to implement a little bit of it in it.
And that's fine.
Right.
That's fine.
But for the most part, it seemed more towards, he wanted the pod to be like entertaining. Like, we had this little, I guess, disagreement of making the podcast something that's unlike any other podcast. But when you do that, the things you have to add to it make it something totally different. If you have a podcast and say we don't have this setup, we do it in front of a screen and we just got a whole bunch of people.
Yeah.
Now it's a stream, So you're not at a podcast anymore.
Yeah.
So kind of some of the things I guess he wanted to do, it wasn't.
I understand them to an extent because podcast is in the infancy stages still anyway.
Right.
Like, we're still trying to figure out how to monetize a podcast. How much is a stream worth on a podcast? Because if you think about it, people are dropping music every day, 2-3 minute songs, and they're getting thousands of dollars. But imagine if I drop an 1.5-hour podcast and somebody listens to it through fully versus a 3-minute song. And now the same amount of people that listen to a 3-minute song is equivalent to $1 million. Imagine that same amount of people coming and watch 1:30. Come on, that's
right.
That's hundreds of millions of dollars.
Right.
So what I'm thinking is, to understand where he's coming from, is if we set ourselves apart, because since podcast is in an infancy stage, we set ourselves apart when we say, look, you can do a podcast like this, or a podcast don't necessarily have to be like this. We don't have to be sitting in front of each other. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
He's kind of paving a way.
Right.
Then now he's a pioneer to how people think about a podcast.
Right.
But as far as, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, like, it's hard to fathom something that hasn't been done yet, I guess.
Yeah.
So maybe that's me.
That's true.
That's the downside of it, is him trying to like articulate it to where I can see what he's trying to get at. He doesn't 100% understand what it is yet, but he just has the spark, and I'm trying to see it, but the communication is like, I think you're like describing something like that's already a thing, which is, it sounds like streaming. To me. Right.
I think streaming lacks the conversation though.
Right. It's more like what you're doing.
Yeah.
You got to keep people like, oh man, this is, and like, I think me personally, as being a host, the host should be more into it, somewhat be more into it than the audience, and you find the like-minded people. So if I'm not into it as a host, then I'm saying I don't think we should do it, because I don't want to get on here and just entertain people, like be goofy and, oh, this dude's so stupid, I'm gonna come back and watch, and I gotta keep that.
Because then you turn into that.
You know what I'm saying? That becomes your reputation. I want to talk the podcasting thing, even though I like that. You know, if he's trying to like change the way it is, I get that. But I like how potting is. Like, it's people talking through shit. Like,
when we were that too. The episode, what was that? The last episode? Yeah, the last episode y'all posted. Mm-hmm. Go check that out. Downbad Radio. What was the name of it? Come on, shameless plug, bro. Shameless plug, bro. Come on. Oh man, he don't even know his own shit.
I ain't gonna lie to you. It's been a minute. It's been too long. But, but Downbad Radio on IG, Twitter. We on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon, all those. iHeartRadio, all those. So check us out. I don't recall what the name is.
And y'all,
I ain't gonna lie.
And y'all can even listen in and be the audience to push him, like, yo, y'all really had something here. Y'all really, you feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, please. We need more feedback. We really do need more feedback, because trying to figure out what's connecting and what isn't. When you don't hear nothing and you're in those stages of just trying something new every time, you don't really know, like, oh, they like that one more. We're just basing off of views, but that's just a click. So you don't even clicked and then clicked off.
Yeah, y'all don't ever feel like that natural high.
Yeah, for sure.
Bro, when we had y'all last episode, mm-hmm. and we were shooting the shits, it wasn't a relevant topic in the media, or it wasn't something that like a question that was on Twitter or whatever. It was just us speaking on a topic and shooting the shits. Like, that shit felt good.
I have an addiction.
There it is. There it is. I have an addiction. Yeah. We were talking a little sleazy, 18, but 18, that shit felt good.
No, yeah, and I always say, every time we do a pod, I kind of either halfway through I like step back and say it, or at the end, I'm like, that's on.
You just take it all in, like, damn,
that one's straight.
We doing this shit, like, that shit feels good.
That's what I want to feel like every time. But I think this is me, because I'm all over the place. Sometimes I feel certain things, and it's kind of why originally, like, before the thought of a podcast, I was thinking, like, maybe I should do this shit by myself, because I'm all over the place. One day, I want to talk about, like, I have an addiction type shit. Mm-hmm. Then another day, I want to talk about some serious shit. But I know I can make someone relate to me, but I'm just so all over the place with it, I wouldn't have a niche. You're just coming because, I fuck with how Dante thinks type shit, which is why I wanted to do it by myself. More so when you, like I said, when you have a partnership, it's like, hey, you know what's been on my mind, bro? I want to talk about this. And they're like, I have nothing to say about that.
Yeah.
Then it's like, it's instantly in the trash. I got a whole bunch of those.
You can come over to iThink. We can get that shit popping whenever you feel like it. You feel me? Cause no. Cause I mean, it's a collaborative effort at this point. Like, we've been on each other's podcasts multiple times, and like, it ain't no ill will. You feel what I'm saying? Whatever you feel like probably wouldn't be a good topic on Downbad, you can bring it here. It might be a good topic here. I'm always down to talk, nigga. I have so much to say. Oh, yeah. That is why I made a podcast. Like, I have too much to say. And I found out that I'm a narcissist anyway. So, yeah. I'm always going to debate on people's thoughts. That's one of the
qualities. You got to have that to do this.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, you can't.
So, y'all never really thought about, like, doing solo pods?
Oh, no, I brought it up. It just didn't go well. I brought it up. We had took a break from our pod, and we had a meeting before we started again. And we was like, let's look back at our first season, figure out what we didn't like, how we're going to renovate it, come back. So I asked him, because I already knew how I felt. So I asked him, what do you want from the podcast? How do you see us? Who do you want to compare us to? Type shit, whatever. when he described it, like, I just straight up told him, I was like, none of that is really what I want. Like, I want this type, which ended up being like, I want more relatable, more serious topics, and he wanted more playful, you know what I'm saying, like joking type, laid back pods. So we had that talk, and I gave the option. I was like, we can keep Downbad Radio, and Downbad Radio would just be the fun, and I can get into character. Like I can do it, like do the fun stuff, but then I just have my solo thing where I just hit the serious stuff that you don't care to talk about. They keep separate, but we still have our thing.
That's what I'm trying to do too. I've only posted like 2 or 3 episodes of me solo, but like the stuff that I feel like people don't really care about, like I really want to talk about music sometimes.
Right.
I'm trying to figure out how do I do that, but also still do these kind of topics as well.
Right.
So, I mean, hopefully I think I found a way, because if you've seen the last episode, go and see it. But Terrell, he's like, bro, I want to talk music too. Like off camera, he's like, bro, I'm here. Whenever you want to talk about music, I'm here. So I'm thinking like maybe I can, because me and Terrell can talk. Right. You know this, like me and Terrell can talk off camera. Music. Yeah, like I'm thinking like maybe he can be my music correspondent, and we could take it to a level that I haven't taken it yet and see where that comes from.
In my opinion, always felt this way. If you're saying like you're in a space like you want to podcast, you just don't really know like what's your thing.
Yeah.
I believe have as many different niches of the same thing, and then whichever one takes off, then you give that one your energy. Like, say you have this one, and I think a pod, like we think it's dope, but say it maxes out after a while. But you have the one with Terrell, and that shit blow up. They're like, hey, more, we want more. Then at some point, if this isn't like flourishing or still growing, then you just dead it and okay, music is like my lane in this shit. And then you just push that.
Here's a problem with the music thing for me, though. I feel like there be long stints in time where the music that is dropping is not for me.
Yeah.
Or it's not to the level of me talking about it. Like, this isn't worthy of my energy.
Like, how would you get through a dry spell in music?
Yeah, like how do I, if I'm posting weekly, like if Drake just dropped, then Kendrick just dropped, then Baby King just dropped, then you feel what I'm saying? Right. I have stuff to talk about all the time, blah, blah, blah. But then people dropping that are just D-list artists that's not really putting their all in it, like real artistry. It's like, I don't want to talk about you just saying fuck a bitch in a Bentley. Like, I don't give a fuck.
I say just go into use the method that movies do. When they can't come with a new movie, they just go back,
the old movie,
bring up the throwbacks. You can do, like I've seen like people that do music reactions. Remember I was telling you to get back into that? And I was saying you can do this old album versus this album. You bring one, Terrell bring one, fight your statements, whatever. And y'all can just do that in the meantime of no new music that y'all are interested in talking about. You know what I'm saying? Like there's stuff you can go around it. Because if it's in music, it doesn't have to be music of now, it's just music in general.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think...
Oh, see, I'm thinking more of like relevancy.
Yeah, you're thinking like current events.
Yeah.
Which you can, but I'm saying in the downtime, like, let's bring this back up. Type, like, what this did for you when it came out. Oh, I think this album was actually better than that, or this was the best Kanye instead of that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's like little subtopics you can bring back up.
I fuck with that.
I mean, it works. I say nothing's stopping you because you already have the equipment. It's just changing the topic. So you can literally start it today.
Are you talking about as far as making another podcast, or
I would
keeping it in this podcast?
No, I would say make another podcast. If you don't know, or I don't know, because right now, this podcast is still relatively new, that you don't have, I guess, the niche yet. Mm-hmm. You would talk about music, but we talking about what we're talking about right now. So this is still still broad. You can keep this going. I'm saying, say now Terrell's gonna fully commit to this, and y'all decide we want to only talk about music. Mm-hmm. If you know you only want to talk about music, I say make a separate. Mm-hmm. Make that only music. Then you keep, shaking the box with this one and see what hooks and what doesn't. But while you're doing this, you still have another one growing. So whichever one takes off, you just end up going with that. If you're trying to like make this like a full-time thing. You know what?
You just said something that really brought me back to the original topic of this fucking podcast.
No, it was in it. I was hearing it. I was like, we should bring it up still.
So we're going to bring it back to the original topic because I totally got off topic. Y'all don't even know the fucking topic. Yeah. But the topic of discussion today was going to be, do you believe in fate? But what you just said really, like, in my opinion, like, made me contradict fate. Because, like, if I'm shaking a box, is that even fate? Is that my destiny? Is that, like, something that is supposed to happen? Or am I just pushing that shit to see what happens?
I've always felt like no one knows their fate.
Yeah.
So I've noticed, like, like celebrities are usually the one to be like, I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. Or successful people say, I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. I don't think, like, when they were younger, they were like, oh, I'm going to be this. This is what I'm meant to be.
Yeah.
It's just more so you learn and you're moving, you change your life around to fit that image that you want to be at. That's not fate. I think fate is, you don't know what it is. That's like something like religious.
Yeah, I think people confuse fate with satisfaction.
Yes, 100%.
So it's like, oh, I've been pushing for this, and now I'm satisfied because it was successful. So this must be my fate.
No.
Nah, bruh. It's just something you probably got successful with.
I think everything is also it's exposure. Like I always told my grandma, like, this is an example, but I used to always tell her, like, if you say that our religion is the right religion, like Christianity, for example.
Oh, we is potting right now.
On God.
We potting.
Hey, I feel like this is a gem.
Whoa. Are we about to? Do this?
We about to do something right now.
Okay.
If Christianity, for example, is the right religion.
Yeah.
But there's a boy in India that only been around Hinduism.
Yeah.
He's never been exposed to Christianity. When the time comes for whatever happens after life, how
his
can
nirvana, our heaven.
Right. How can you blame him for having the wrong quote unquote religion
if
when he's never even been exposed to it? And there's how many religions in the world? Same thing with what you're saying as far as with the faith. Like, we're necessarily everyone in the world is shaking a box. When you're in high school, college, you're going through these different classes, you're just trying to figure out I'm kind of good at this. I don't think that's fate. I'm good at it. Let me go with it, see how far it takes me. Some people reach all the way to the point of satisfaction and they're like, oh, this must be it. But there's a lot you haven't been exposed to. So I guess what I'm saying is I don't believe in fate. I think you kind of just...
You know what I think happened? Millions of fucking years ago, or hundreds of thousands of years ago, when humanity was at its fucking infancy stages, I think there was a singular notion, right?
Okay.
But shit gets misconstrued, because let's say, for example, for layman's terms, there was one village. And there's a singular notion, like there was one fate for everybody.
Right.
But then the farmer was like, damn, the land over here getting a little scarce. Let me go venture out. Let me go across this hill. And then this person said, let me cross this river. And now it's just, everybody goes everywhere their separate ways. Now everybody's starting to believe in different things. So if everybody's believing in different things, how can you, like you said, how can you blame, like, say that farmer's offspring only believing in what the farmer is telling them? But at the same time, over at the original village, they're all still under this one notion, like, oh, we're going to heaven, or we're Hindu, or but the farmer's like, I'm a Christian now, and I'm gonna push this Christian message. This is our fate. If we do right by such and such, we walk close to God. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So you can't really blame how present day, how we think, but at the same time, we kind of got to get closer, get back to quote unquote walking closer to God. But then the question is, I mean, God forbid, but the question is, who is God? Because then the fate, you feel what I'm saying? I'm walking close to this God, but you're walking close to this God, and he's walking close to this God.
Because I don't want to stay on religion.
Yeah, I don't want to stand on religion,
but just really think about it, right? You know, a lot of people actually devote their life to I'm doing what my God wants me to do. Yeah. To ensure that I make it to heaven, whatever you believe in, right? Mm-hmm. So if that person's committing their life to it, and let's just say there's only one God, then I just don't see how they're gonna get turned away, or I don't know.
Because
there's too many people.
Because it's like, I can't blame you. You were misled.
Right, and everything in that book you followed. So you are loyal. You know what I'm saying? You are a loyal follower and believer. You just had the wrong information.
You know, J. Cole said some shit. He said, good news is you came a long way. The bad news is you went the wrong way. That's crazy.
That would be crazy.
That's a bar though too.
That's what happens.
Yeah, you devote everything to
because
this idea.
It's literally what, like the notion you just said. It's everyone started one place. I'm sure. You know what I'm saying? Because population was low, long. Yeah. So small people. Okay, there's a guy. He told us to do this. One person ventures off, and they just said, I don't want to do it.
Yeah, fuck this nigga.
They say I shouldn't do that, but I'm gonna do this. Other dude, I don't want to do this either. Goes with him, new religion. They raise. One person, I don't want to do that either. Another religion.
But to keep it outside of religion, like to take it outside of religion, I feel like. Matter of fact, I'll just show you. I'll show you some clips that I've been. You know, I'll be doing my little research and stuff. There's a. That's Drake. My bad. There's a post from. See this guy right here. I saw on TikTok, and he gets asked a question about destiny.
Do you believe in fate?
Well,
yes
fate
and no.
Destiny.
I say yes because I feel everyone could be destined for something. I feel like I'm destined to do something special, but I know I'm not going to do that unless I make a move myself and stay working for that. So that's why I don't really believe in it, because it's up to the person, but they have something they can accomplish if they work hard enough to get it. So it's kind of there if you work enough for it, but it's not like 100%. What's this something special you're going to do? I see myself being a very famous rapper one day. I know I just got to keep working hard for that until the day it works, until the day everything clicks, and then I can sit back, go on YouTube, find this video, and give myself a pat on the back. Do you believe?
Now, did you hear what he said? I totally disagree with him. And the reason why I disagree is because if you feel like it's your fate or your destiny to be, like he said, a famous rapper, but I have to work for it, and I have to. But if it's fate, do you have to work for it? Right. Because no matter your choices that you make, you're still going to end up where you're supposed to be, faithfully.
So is the word fate and the word destiny the same thing?
I think destiny can be. This is just my hypothesis. I feel like destiny is like man driven. That's me. I feel like that's me determining where I want to be, and like this is my destiny. Versus fate is like something that's there already, implemented into fucking the universe already.
Yeah, because I get what you're saying. It's like he's saying he wants to be famous, but the person has to put the work in for it. So say he didn't want to put the work in, he was lazy, then you end up being something else, which contradicts it being your fate, or your destiny, either one. Which is why I say I don't believe in it, because like I said, I think it's just something you say when you get what you want.
Yeah, it's like satisfaction.
You know, I'm successful. Like, oh, God must be or whoever is looking out for me.
And he gonna do what he do.
You know what I'm saying? Because I got what I wanted.
But imagine leaning towards that all the time.
Right.
Like, no, I'm just gonna sit back because God got a plan anyway.
Yeah.
You're gonna have a hard fucking life. Right. Not to say that your God or whoever you believe in or your spirituality isn't a thing, but if you just sit back and let quote unquote fate guide your whole life, you're probably not going.
Damn. Oh, damn. I don't know if this is gonna hit, but there's literally a picture that I've seen. You've probably seen it on. I saw it on Instagram. Dudes in the ocean. I guess whatever fell off the boat. Whatever boat's gone. He's just floating there.
Yeah.
Prayed to God. Said, "God help me," and didn't get an answer. A boat came, offered to pick him up. He said, "No, God will help me or save me." Another boat came. God will save me. Da da da. Dude drowns, dies. Goes to heaven and was like, God, I asked you to help me. Why didn't you? He said, I sent you 3 boats.
Mind blown. God was helping you.
On God. That was Pursuit of Happiness. That's where I got that from. The little boy Jaden said that. But like I was listening like, yo, like dead ass. It be like that. So look,
it's not direct.
It's not direct. But like
did he expect
saying like your fate, thinking like no matter what I do, it's gonna end where I need to be.
Mm-hmm.
But then these avenues or these opportunities are gonna come, and you're like, I don't know. I think if you're too much of a believer in this fate thing without no backup effort, I don't know.
Yeah, because like, what did he expect? To float out of the water?
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they like, what are you expecting to get just raised up? I don't know. That's like
real.
That's
real as hell.
Yeah.
I got another video that's pertaining to fate or like your purpose in life, and this is what the late XXX said.
The whole point of the human race and the human mind in itself is evolution. Whether it's evolution spiritually, physically, period. Evolution. The purpose from birth is creation. That's all humans do. Everything around you was created. You were created. That table over there created. This chair created. This mic created. That camera created. That hat created. The whole point of the human race in itself is creation. Before now, when there was at least ideally the belief of 2 human beings on Earth, everything after that was a creation in itself. The whole point is evolution and creation. If you're not evolving, you're doing something wrong. So anything that takes away the power of your mind is keeping you still and delaying your evolution. The whole point of life is evolution. Study your laws of the universe. The law of attraction, the law of abundance, the law of equivalent exchange. Study your laws, the laws of cause and effect, the karmic cycle. Study your laws. Dwell into your mind, meditate. Understand that you can alter your realms by your train of thought. The minute you slow down your thought, you're able to leave your body through astral projection. You're only enslaved if you can't control your mind. This is what.
Bro, that was so motherfucking powerful.
I heard this with stuff like that's kind of what got him killed, because he was speaking that shit.
That's the part that's interesting, because for one, I wanna just sit back and take in what he said, right? Mm-hmm. If the whole purpose of life was to evolve, right? Like evolution, and to create like offspring and shit, right? That still doesn't pose the question, why? Like, what is the fate of our evolution? What is the fate of humans creating?
Right.
Like, what's the end goal?
What's the end result?
Yeah, what is the end goal? But since we don't know that, for all these years, we're always asking, what is that? So we're trying to figure it out. We're trying to come up with reasonable explanations, which stirs everybody in so many different ways. So like, I feel like I haven't did this whole astral projection shit that he's talking about. I'm not saying that I don't believe it, but I feel like I am at that point where I can sit back and, I always say I'm conscious, like, and I hate that it sounds like that because it's so cliche in 2023. Like, everybody's conscious and woke and shit like that. But no, like, really, like, I can sit back and break things down and ask why. When I first met you, I told you about the Socratic method and stuff like that. Like, I'm asking why all the time. So when he said that, if our purpose is to evolve, why? What is the end goal? Or if our purpose is to just create, which it might be, because if you think about it, we're the only species on Earth that don't just come into this world, survive, produce, and then die. Like, we got all of this thoughts, and we're trying to fucking.
There's so much individuality in our species.
Yeah. And we're fucking trying to find like eternal life and shit like that. Like, bro, for what?
This is one of those topics that you can never.
It's always questions. It's always questions, but I love that.
Yeah, I know.
I love that because it like it makes your brain like fucking expand and contract.
I appreciate it.
You feel me?
Because there's a lot of people that just don't like this type of shit. Like,
that's some bullshit you're talking about.
Listen, that's what I'm saying. We in the right area of work right now, because this is like some conversation. The only other person I can have conversation with this is my dad, where we can like go back and forth. A lot of people, I keep saying, but why? But like, but what if like, and they'd be like, yo, it's done. I don't.
Yeah, like, bro, I don't have the answers.
I'm like, yeah, but you're not curious. So it is hard though, because when you try to think so big, like bigger than yourself, like the way the world works, the way the universe is, what's outside of our solar system, how far does it go? Like I used to always feel like space was like, we're just a snow globe, and then I guess that's whoever or whatever is.
See, but that thought right there, there's a theory already about the whole snow globe theory is like we're in a firmament that we can't go beyond and all of that. But it's like, who said that, and why did you say that? Not because it might be right, it might be wrong.
But that's just a creation of thought at that point.
Yeah.
There's
a artist that worked alongside Joey Badass. His name was Capital Steez. Just away from music, him as a person. Yeah. He was on X's timing, but back in 2010, 2011. So he got so deep into mental health and conscious thinking, like, Illuminati was heavy back then. Nobody was talking about mental health back then and shit like that. So he was taking it upon himself to ask those questions. Why? Or why is this that? And who decided this and that? Right. But it got to the point where he, quote unquote, was astral projecting, where he felt like he was personally talking to God. Like, he took that step back that X was talking about and really like think about shit, slow down. He felt like he was actually talking to God. And he was, I don't want to like misconstrue his message, but basically he felt like God was telling him that, bro, you're the only person that can save this world because everybody else is not on your timing. So what I need you to do is XYZ. He ends up taking his own life, but with the thought of, I'm going to come back and I'm going to be the prophet of the world and I'm going to save the world from corruption.
That's deep.
Deep as fuck. But it's like nobody, the craziest question to me is, what are you thinking? It's fucking amazing that I cannot think about what's in your head. Right. I can't tell you what you're thinking. Right. That's fucking amazing to me. Yeah. Because, bro, I might be rambling, but
no.
I can't explain it to anybody, but in a way, I feel like I can rehearse what you're about to say before you say it, but it's like milliseconds before you say it. So I can't really prove it. Right. And I can't say it with my mouth, but my mind thought about what you was going to say before you said it. Yeah. So as you're opening your mouth, I already know what you just said.
I feel that. I get it. No, I get it.
But I can't explain that shit.
Yeah. I get it. I noticed. So I guess my tell when I do it is same thing. Like as you're talking, you say like 2 words, and I'm like,
"Yup, yeah."
I start going like,
"Yeah," because I feel that. Yeah. What you feel, bro? I didn't even say that. No, but I get it.
Honestly, no, keep going.
Yeah. Bro, one time I was younger, right? I'm sitting on a nightstand, and there was like some Smirnoff bottles or some shit above me. I'm not a nightstand, but a fireplace. I'm sitting on it, and I don't know what the fuck compelled me to reach out like this. The fucking bottle, I promise to God, the bottle fell. I said, whip, caught that shit. The people around me, we were younger, so I mean, I don't even remember who's there. Right. The people around me looking, I'm like, what? What? I didn't look at it or nothing, but it's like those little things you have to really think about, like, what is the purpose? Like, what compelled me to do that? Or what is my reasoning for these little things that I can't explain? Yeah. Because creation and evolution can't just be the end goal, but it could also, because like a moth, their sole purpose is to follow the light and reproduce. That's all they fucking do. And after they reproduce, they die. So it's like, what they get one.
What's the purpose? The grand purpose. What the fuck
is the like? What is that?
It's like, because I think a lot of people ask this question when you keep having like bees bothering you. You're like, why do we even have? Like, what's the even point of bees?
What the fuck? But then there was
the grand scheme of things. Like, pollen is a whole nother purpose of keeping things down and balanced, and we're really just like, we're still animals. So we're just a part of a grand purpose. It's just a question of what's the purpose, which I think is an unanswered question for our creator, which I always said, if I die and that's what happens afterwards, you meet God or whatever, I got questions.
Bro, I'm not leaving the Golden Gates.
Like, hold on.
Hold on. Because I got some questions for you, bro.
I've been waiting for this.
Why did you even...
So that time when what was that? I think I know, but...
Bro, it's amazing. For one, I love when I can find somebody to talk to to people. When I can find people to talk to this. Yeah. What the fuck am I saying? When I can find people that I can talk to this about.
That you could talk about this too?
There it is. Damn, I can't fucking talk. But yeah, I feel like all of those questions come about because of the question of like, what is our fate? Right. But you can't tell me just because fate is real that I still gotta pay. I can't pay my fucking light bill because I still need to pay that shit. It ain't fate, nigga. Right. Georgia Power on my ass.
Little side thing, because you kind of reminded me. I told her this the other day. So, not too long ago, not to get a little too personal, but I don't care. Like, bank account was not where it needs to be, but bills were coming. And I said, damn, I'm like, I got to recalculate real quick. So I sat back and I said, yo, I'm going to be short. Like it's short. There's nothing's coming till another couple of days. Da 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 da. And I was telling her, I was like, you know what? I'm not tripping because I remember my entire life. Every time didn't have the money, was negative, down bad, car fucked up, something going wrong. Something happens.
Tends to happen
to
like an
keep me
uptrend.
just above water.
It's crazy.
The timing is perfect every time.
Crazy every single time.
And I'm like, I'm sitting there like, you know, in the moment, I'm like, oh yes, thank you. But then when you think back at it, you're like I don't even know where that came from, or I didn't do nothing to put myself in that position. There's times, I'm no lie. There's times money has showed up in my account. Like when this happened, this situation specifically, I was swiping my card, swiped above more than I had because my Wells Fargo shit to be fucking up. It'd be like the essence
holding money,
right?
And shit.
It holds and takes it out later, days later. So I'm negative, whatever type shit. So I'm going. I'm like, oh damn, I'm not gonna make them tight. The day before the bill that I needed to pay, like literally the night before, something that I had ordered that I told myself in my head I didn't need anymore, but it already shipped. They never shipped it and refunded the exact amount that I needed to pay the bill.
The exact amount.
I said,
the exact amount. Is that fate?
I said, no.
Is that fate?
It's crazy.
That's perfect.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I find myself like, me and my wife, the past couple years, we've been noticing that the end of each year is usually when we're doing the worst. Mm-hmm. Like even if it's not financially or something, just something very big happens to put us, like to set us back. But it's always towards the end of the year. So it's like, are we picking up on the pattern of our fate, or is this just coincidence that every year since 2017 in November something happens, either the car transmission blows or we fucking trying to decide if we're gonna stay in the same apartment or not, and the leasing office is telling us to sign the lease today or get the fuck out. Like, you feel what I'm saying? Right. Anything. But it's like, are these trials and tribulations to like strengthen us for the future? Is this higher power putting this in front of us to test us to see if we got it in us? You feel what I'm saying? Like,
I think I got some. So I'm taking it back. I do believe in it. I don't know what the end result, like I said, but I think what it is it may be, it could be something higher than us that we gotta prove, well, maybe let's just say for this instance, God believes that, the whole Adam and Eve thing happened. Mm-hmm. But he's trying to prove that man can get back to where it was supposed to be. Mm-hmm. So I think our purpose, not what people are saying, like, oh, my career that I'm in, this is what I'm meant to do. It's not your career. It's like who you are, the effect that I have on you, that you later in life will put towards someone else, that will put towards someone else.
I was just called a narcissist for that.
No, I believe I'm behind you on it, because you think about it, there's people we're never gonna touch, but even all this shit that's bad for us right now, like social media, cons and stuff, it also, expands reach to people that would have never heard of us, can hear maybe something they could have needed to hear. Now they pass out. I think all these hundreds of thousands of years and all that, we're learning from all this history, and it's gonna lead to like maybe way past when we're gone. Like, it's gonna change something. Like the fact we have this podcast, every time we have a struggle, and the reason why I say I believe in the fate now is, think about it, like when you say the leasing office, like, oh bro, you gotta go today or sign. And you gotta make that quick decision, like, all right, bet. So say, all right, I'm gonna go to Kroger real quick because I gotta do this because I'm not gonna make it later. So let me just make this stop real quick. When you make that stop, tires go flat. Mm-hmm. That little thing
Just fucked up the grand scheme.
Bro.
The grand.
Yeah, like we can't do that. Fuck it. Just go that route. Like there's little things that we may overlook that kind of is guiding us not towards our dream career or a job. It's just towards but our purpose. Like our role in this timeline. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. So, you know what I'm saying? Everyone wants to be that top guy. So if you become famous, you're like, oh, I'm doing it. But it could not be you being a rapper or the best rapper in the world being your purpose. It's you were given the voice because you knew the right words to choose to change the mind of someone else in the grand time. You know, does it make sense?
But yeah, but I feel like there is a grand antagonist. Like there is like the fucking what's the dude on Mario, the end boss, Bowser? Mm-hmm. Like there's a Bowser of this world that's trying to keep people in this like bot mentality.
Right.
Like
there is something working against us.
Yeah, who the fuck said that the work day has to be 8 to 10 hours a day? That's all the daylight in the day. You're telling me I have to do other stuff at night when I need to be sleeping so that I can go to work and follow the societal standards so that I can live at least somewhat comfortably.
Right.
Like who the fuck said that?
It's deep. I don't know what it is. People always say they don't want us or the government. I don't know if it's even that deep or is them involved, but it's definitely, I just think those are the unanswered questions. I think that's not for us to understand because but
that's some man-made shit, though. That's some man-made shit, bro.
But I do think, say it is higher power and stuff, like all that stuff's true, and there is an antagonist. I feel like somewhere along the line, the antagonist has to have some connection with man. I need you to corrupt this. Like there can't be just everyone on the earth is pure or good. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
No, because you're saying that, but that's what it was, and that's what God intended.
Because the reason I'm saying is, say like according to the Bible, like there being the devil, but the God. There's the antagonist and protagonist, but just how God influences the good people, he has to be the antagonist has to influence someone too. So there, I don't know, we're just amongst each other, but it's still the grand purpose thing. I don't know. I think we have a choice. It's weird to say it though. It goes against the definition of faith. But I think we have a choice of good or bad. But if we say we choose good and like to our core, we know we're going to be good and we want to do the best, you're naturally going to go towards that faith. And if you choose that side, you're towards the people that keep people the obstacles. I don't know. I don't know how to word it, but
who speaks for the bots? Who speaks for the bots?
I don't know.
The NPCs. Because I don't think everybody on this fucking world is fucking conscious, bro.
I agree.
Everybody that's walking down the street, I feel... Oh. Fuck no. Bro, do we gotta wrap it up, bro? See, that's some bot shit, bro. That's some antagonist, societal, Satanist.
Hey, what I say though, everything happens for a reason. You know where I gotta be soon, right?
Come on!
It's about that time.
I feel that. All right. I mean, we had a good discussion.
This is amazing.
They try and keep us down anyway outside. Fate just showed you the time.
It works itself out every time.
I think it's a wrap, bro. I appreciate you coming.
As always.
Time flew by.
Happens when you're having a good time.
It's crazy how he stopped.
Listen, I don't have the answers.
I don't either, bro.